Okay, here we go. All right, so what we're going to be doing here are some mock interviews. And basically, this is just good practice. If you're at a job, maybe you want to get a promotion, but you're not super comfortable with the interviews, or even just sitting down with another person and practicing like this, AI is a good tool to use, and I'll demonstrate that here. So Emma is actually going to pretend to be me and answer the questions. These are all questions that would be related to like a web development job for those who may not know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put Emma in live mode and start this interview. Hello there. Welcome to Chris Incorporated. Thank you for coming in for your scheduled interview this morning. How are you feeling?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. A bit of that nervous excitement, naturally, but really enthusiastic to discuss my background and how I can contribute.
Excellent. Let's get right to it. So we see that you use PHP and MySQL for your personal projects like the wellness app and your pantry app. Why choose that stack over something like a MERN stack for a shared recipe library?
Yes. When designing the wellness app and the pantry app, I was focused on reliability and straightforward data management. PHP and MySQL offer a very stable and widely supported platform, which was crucial for ensuring consistent performance. Well, MERN presents a modern approach. For these projects, I prioritized the robustness and efficiency of the traditional stack, allowing for more rapid development and scalability.
Fair enough. So you recently completed the Meta Front-End Developer Certificate. Can you explain how you'd handle state in a React application versus traditional JavaScript DOM manipulation?
Certainly. The Meta Front-End Developer Certificate really solidified my understanding of modern paradigms. In React, state is central, and it's typically managed through component-level state, like useState, or more complex patterns like useReducer or Redux for global state. This provides a predictable, reactive way to update the UI, as changes to state automatically re-render components. In contrast, traditional JavaScript DOM manipulation is more direct, manually selecting and modifying elements, which can become cumbersome and less predictable in complex applications.
Thank you. So walk me through your process when you start a new project. I heard that you're a stickler for folder structure. And tell me why that's important for a team.
A well-organized structure is fundamental, in my view. I typically begin by defining the core requirements and essential modules, which then dictates the logical folder structure. This isn't just for neatness, it's about clarity. On a team, a consistent structure ensures everyone can navigate the codebase efficiently, reduces conflicts, and speeds up onboarding. It really becomes a shared blueprint.
Thank you. Next question is, I see that you've been working with Hilltop Welding and Maintenance. Can you tell me a time that a client had a vague request and how you turned that into a functional website?
That's a common challenge. For Hilltop Welding, the initial brief was quite open, focusing mainly on establishing a credible online presence. My approach was to initiate a series of discovery sessions to deeply understand their business, target audience, and specific goals. We translated that into a structured sitemap, prioritizing key features like a detailed project portfolio and clear calls to action, ensuring the final site was not just visually appealing, but strategically effective.
Understood. So tell me, what's the most difficult bug that you've had to squash recently? And can you tell me what tools you used to find it?
The trickiest one was a subtle cross-browser incompatibility in a client payment portal. The form was working perfectly in modern browsers, but failing in specific, older versions. I had to use browser-specific developer tools, particularly the Network tab and console, to isolate the exact point of failure, which turned out to be a subtle difference in promise handling. It was a tedious process of pinpointing the environmental disparity, but ultimately rewarding.
Thank you. How do you stay updated with web development trends while managing a busy schedule?
It requires deliberate effort. I dedicate specific time each week to reading industry publications, subscribing to relevant newsletters, and following key developers on social media. The Meta Front-End Developer course was also instrumental in structured learning. It's about balancing foundational knowledge with the constant evolution of the field.
Very good answer. Now, I see that you're a content creator and also a runner. How does that creative, disciplined mindset translate to your coding work?
They actually complement each other quite well. Content creation fosters creativity and a user-centric perspective, which is invaluable in front-end development and problem-solving. And running instills the discipline, perseverance, and structured approach needed to tackle complex projects and meet deadlines, ensuring consistent, high-quality results.
Thank you very much. And if we gave you a project with a very tight deadline and a library that you've never actually used before, tell me how you would handle that pressure.
Tight deadlines are definitely a reality. In that scenario, I would prioritize quickly scoping the project and identifying the core functionalities dependent on the new library. I dedicate focused time to rapid learning through documentation and practical examples, perhaps creating a minimal viable product to quickly integrate and test. Clear and constant communication with the team and stakeholders would also be key to manage expectations and pivot if necessary.
Thank you very much. And last question for you. Where do you see your development career heading in the next 2 years?
In the next 2 years, I'm aiming to transition into a more senior role where I can take on greater technical leadership. I'm particularly interested in deepening my expertise in specific areas, perhaps focusing on performance optimization or scalable architecture, and mentoring junior developers. Ultimately, I want to be a pivotal part of a team pushing technical boundaries.
Thank you very much. Good news. You're hired. Thank you for the interview. You can start next week.
That's fantastic news. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm really excited to get started and contribute to the team.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Fake interview session number 1. Now, next time I'll actually be answering the questions, so it's going to be a little bit tougher on me, but it was kind of fun to flip it around and be the person asking. Now, if you do this several times, you actually get different answers back, so you can kind of get different ways of answering the questions yourself when you're sitting in the other seat. All right, I know this has been a long video. Done ranting. Okay, till next time, everybody. Take care.